Okay, here comes the powder sugar shake. And so, let's see. Okay. Oops. Oh, that one raised her butt. Yeah, when I see a girl raise her butt, I raise my antennas. Like, what? Don't raise your butt. No butt raising. Oh, there's earwigs in here. That's why it's not a good idea to leave cracks. I am going to put on my veil. And the reason why I'm going to put on my veil is because there is a lot of earwigs, and these girls are up here fighting with them, and they already look agitated, fighting these earwigs, and so I don't want to get stung for the third time in my face. I got a lot of propolis, so they're trying to seal this stuff up to try to keep those earwigs out. Oh my gosh, girls, I am so sorry. I'm gonna have to powder the heck out of you, but that's just your fate. So they're doing a pretty good job. Looks like they only got 3 frames left to finish up. That means I got a little time. Little time, little time. Got little time. So I'm just gonna shake them on a baby. Ouch! Oh, she just killed herself. Oh, they're acting really aggressive. Really aggressive today. I just got my butt stung. Yeah, they don't like me up in there. I think it's because I was pounding on that thing, making that noise. Yeah, once I started tapping that with that tool, she came out right to the noise. She came right to that noise to address that noise and stung me on my finger. This girl's really aggressive. Yeah, this is the most aggressive I've seen them. Another earwig. Yeah, there's so many earwigs. Yeah, I can see why they're peed off. They're having to fight these earwigs. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. The earwigs. So these girls up here have been having to deal with all these doggone earwigs up here, and they are not happy. Don't blame them. That was a lot of earwigs. Yeah, I haven't seen them agitated like this. Not this high, but yeah, they're angry. Who knows how long they've been battling those doggone earwigs up here. I come in here, I'm just another disturbance. I'm just adding to the problem of the disturbance. I got stung on my finger. All right, fine. So I got stung. Well, that's my third bee sting that I've had this year. I didn't get any last year. None, not a one. This year, two of the bee stings were of my own ignorance. I gambled and I lost that situation. But this one here, I understand why I just got stung. I've seen all these earwigs up here, and they were battling those things, and who knows how long that's been going on, that they've been up here fighting. And so they've been aggressive with these earwigs, and I come in here taking their hive apart. You know, I'm just another tormentor as far as they can tell, and I'm just another bad person. I'm glad I decided to put my veil on, because that one was really aggressive with my face. I would have got stung on my face again. Yeah. Good reaction. Okay. And then when I get done with this, oh, my hand's starting to swell up already. Geez, that's like 2 bee stings in less than 3 months. Three bee stings. 3 bee stings in less than 3 months. 2 months maybe, I think. Somewhere in there. My last bee sting, I had a bad reaction. And if I have another bad reaction, getting stung on my finger, I might have to get myself an EpiPen. Or 2. Yeah. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Just want to get that a really strong smoky thing going on down there, so it goes all the way down to the bottom. All right, girls, you can go back home now. There you go. Watch your body. Ciao. Okay. Home, I'm home. Okay, now I'm gonna investigate investigate that panel. Well, that one was just, she was trying so hard to get my face. Oh my gosh. She's like, I want to get your face so bad, I can taste your face. She was bouncing off this thing. Oh, I want to sting you in your face. Oh, shoot. And so, yeah, got me right on my finger. Three bee stings. So the first year I had my bees, I had like a dozen. Dozen bee stings. Dang. Yeah. And almost all of them were foolish things that I was doing. You know, if anything we do that's new, it's like a learning curve, right? we gotta kind of like learn, you know, the hard way. You know, sometimes we can learn the easy way, and sometimes there's only one way, and that's the hard way. You can see how it's all white there on the panel. So they're gonna eat all that up. Yeah, last week when I did it, it was all white like that, and I don't know, 10 minutes later, I didn't see anything. They ate it all. Yeah, and so I don't see any girls coming out that are white. So my little concern I have now is maybe I'm not putting enough powdered sugar down there, getting them, because I like to see them coming out all white, like albino looking, you know? Yeah. And yeah, my finger's throbbing. I don't know where she got me. Can't tell. I don't know. My finger will let me know later what area was mostly swollen. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt if my whole finger just swells up like the elephant man. Now, last time I got stung in the face, both times right in the left eye, right here, both times. It's like what happened was when the swelling started, then it started to go down, the skin overlaid each other because it stretched it. And not only that, what happens is the cells, a lot of the cells go into what's called senescent freeze. It's like and they just kind of freeze instead of doing in there and being active and a participant in keeping everything plumped up and all that. They just go dormant. they hibernate, right, for a while until they come out of that shock, and then the skin will tighten back up. So I had like, when the swelling went down, it just like their skin was just hanging, like I had Bell's palsy or something. I've had Bell's palsy. My whole right of my side of my face just it just hung. I was like 33 years old, 32. It just hung, and then just drooling out of the corner of my mouth. Gosh, I think I had that for 3 months or more, 6 months. Yeah, long time. And uh, so the cycle has begun again, Varroa mite cycle. And anybody who experiences, um, you know, who has bees, they'll know what I'm talking about. Varroa mites are something that you can't eliminate organically. Uh, Varroa mites is here to stay. I don't think they even knew what the heck it was 50 years ago. Uh, yeah, people just go get their bees and get their honey. That's all there was. Simple. But because these Varroa mites have spread all around the world, including Australia. Australia was the last haven for no Varroa mites, and but when it came to Australia a few years back, it was like a tsunami, and they were not ready. They were not ready. So many beekeepers had to close up shop. They lost all their hives because initially Australia's law was if there's any signs of any community where there's any Varroa mites, the law was that everything had to be burned. All the equipment, all the hives, all the bees, everything had to be destroyed. They tried that for a while. you know, burn, baby, burn, and the inevitable happened. It swept through all the bee colonies, and now Australia is like everybody else with bees. You don't have to, you know, take all these countermeasures all the time to get bees, to have honey, to keep them. And so that's it. And there's no navigation today. So, and here's another thing that I'm going to share. Well, that's a different kind of bee. that's a different. That's not a honeybee, but it's a bee. It's just a different one, different breed. And so, oh, my nose is starting to go numb. So is my face. So is my arm. Yeah, when I first got bees and I'd get stung, it always stayed isolated right there. But I'm noticing now the last bee sting I got, it attacked my nervous system, from head to toe, inflamed, and I'm starting to get a little sensation of the same this one. So I might have to keep some EpiPens around in the future. Yeah, my jaw is starting to feel numb. Now, you know how you go to the dentist and you get a shot, Novocaine, and it numbs it? Yeah, my jaw is starting to feel like that again. And so what happened is when I checked myself in emergency after a couple of hours because it was getting worse, and chest pains and tightness. So I went and hung around at the emergency room. I checked myself in too. And I stayed there for 3 hours until the chest pain went away and all the tingling and all, everything went back to normal, other than, of course, the pain of the initial sting on my face. And just checked myself out. I guess I'll do that again today if I start experiencing something similar. So yeah, anytime you get stung by something, if you're experiencing chest pains of any kind, shortness of breath, because I was experiencing like a little shortness of breath, tightness in the chest after the bee sting, and so yeah, you probably should just go hang out at the emergency room. I don't recommend necessarily, signing in so you have to pay to sit there. The VA paid for me to sit there for 3 hours, and I didn't see a doctor. But the VA, because I checked in, the VA paid for it. And I should not have checked in. I should sit there. because you know you had all these emergency people there. If they would have seen this guy all of a sudden going into some sort of shock, they could have taken care of the situation, and then the VA would have paid for something, right? Um, I'm on full VA benefits, and so yeah, you know, I think that if we get set up with something like I have with the screens, you know, it's not going to eliminate the Varroa stuff. Of course not. They're coming in from other places. They're all those Varroa are everywhere in this community. On the flowers, on the bees that are in other hives, are being transferred back and forth, and you've got these marauders from other hives. They will go into other hives, even healthy ones. They'll fight with them, and a mite will drop off that one onto the board in there. That mite will jump onto one of your bees, and boom, that hive's infected. It's just how it works, man. Or your bee goes out harmlessly to a flower, another bee has already visited, and maybe it had multiple Varroa mites on it, and one of them wasn't fully attached, and then now it's on the flower. Your bee goes there, jumps on your bee, boom, your hive's infested. Boom. So, yeah, we can get rid of all the Varroa mites in a hive, but it's only temporary. I tried to go organic. The first hives I had, I'm just gonna let nature do its thing. Yeah, I lost both hives with that kind of thinking. Both of them died of viruses and Varroa mite infection stuff and DWV, and yeah. So now that I know that that's just not an option, organic is not an option. So I have so the closest thing I'm going to get to organic is having that 8-inch cloth, doing the powder sugar shaking once a week in peak Varroa mite season, because this is pushing peak Varroa mite season right now. So by getting it early, keeping it down during the actual peak when most people start losing their hives who don't keep it down before they're going into the winter. All my hives should be okay without having to use all these chemicals and pesticides. I used pesticides one time, and I put it in there, 2 strips, just like I said. Put this strip over here on this group of bees, put this other strip over here on this group of bees, and you're done. I put the strip of the group of bees over here, put another strip of a group of bees over here, and I walked away. I don't know why, but I started feeling anxious. This Chinese-made product that's supposed to kill Varroa mites, and I came back 30 minutes later, popped the top just to take a peek. Half of my bees were dead or dying on the bottom of the inside of the hive. Oh man, I removed all those strips, left the top to air out, but it was too late. It already weakened my hive so much that that hive eventually died. Yep. And that was my last hive. That was the last one. The other one just succumbed to the Varroa mite just a couple weeks earlier. So this is the first hive that I've been able to get through the winter. You know, through spring, through summer, through fall, through winter. This is the first one I've been successful with. And I'm going to contribute it to, until I have good probable reason to assume otherwise, that it had to do with the screen cloth. Dropping down. They just walking around, fall off, which is normal, through the screen, and they're done. They are taken out of the equation. They're no longer going to be contributing to the population or the increase of the population. And you can help manage keeping that population down until they go into their winter or pre-winter. So late fall, there's usually a massive die-off. So late last fall, after I think I was just starting to get the Varroa mites under control, and then there was this massive die-off, 10,000 at least, on the ground the next day. So they were eliminating the population. They were decreasing the population to save on food for the winter. That's normal. All hives do that. They'll have multiple die-offs in large groups,
And so that's normal. I had two of them. I think I lost, it probably looked like maybe 20, 30,000. They just took themselves out all at once, one afternoon. It's like they just all of a sudden turned, all right, Mary, you're going to have to turn that off switch now. I'm doing it, Mary. Louise, we're all doing it. Come on, it's our time. And they just take themselves out. Nature's so cruel. So cruel, so cruel. Oh my gosh. And so, um, and they're going to do the same again. So if I go into winter with these two hives, or how many swarms I might catch or splits I might do, I need to anticipate seeing the same thing. Because I have this flat surface here, that's a solid surface, they don't like disappear into the weeds or the dirt. I come out, there's just pile that's sitting right there. It's like they just went right there. And so, yeah, interesting stuff, nature. And that's kind of it. Um, and please subscribe, thumbs up, ring the bell. I see that as like leaving a tip. And appreciate that tip. This tip doesn't cost you a thing. It's free. You get to help somebody out, right? It's free, and you get to help somebody out. That's pretty cool. And I'll keep you updated on this Varroa mite cycle. Now, because this is my first season of actually getting this far with beehives, and I've got this system that I've come up with, I'm going to be able to keep everybody updated who's following this channel at all on the actual progression, what I did with each step. Today I'm doing this, and here's why. Today I'm doing this, and here's why. So I'm doing this progression, so if anybody wants to adopt this routine, and they see me making a change, and I'm making it at a certain time because I'm getting the early signs of some, I'm gonna say, hey, do this. Here's why. See, this is, look. Here's the evidence, reproducible, evidentiary. Here's why. Do it, man. Do it now. Don't wait. Or you be pushing the destruct button. That red one. Don't push the red one. Right? And so I'm going to be doing recordings all through up into fall. And throughout the winter. I made videos throughout the winter on what I was doing with all my sugar shakes throughout the winter. To see the progression of my system. So when they go into fall and she stops producing eggs, because she will for a certain time. I'm not sure if mine ever did. I kept seeing orientational flights all throughout the winter. And I can tell they were new because they looked new. They had the light new birth look, right? So when the new girl is hatched, they're really light. And when as long as they're in the hive, and they haven't orientated out yet and got exposed to the sun and all that kind of stuff, and the weather conditions, they're going to stay light. But once they come out and they start doing foraging and stuff like that, they'll start to darken, and their butt will get that black part of their butt will start to get bigger and darker over time. So I can always tell which one's a new girl that's never been out in the sun, and who's an older girl. And so all through winter, I would see new girls coming out. They look like brand new. Kind of like a new car smell. It's like a new bee smell, but a new bee look. And so, these girls, the ones I had, all those girls are dead. The only girl that's alive right now is the queen. All the other girls that were through the winter are dead. That's right. That's just how it works. Now, winter bees, when she lays them in the fall, late fall, those can live up to 200 days. Yep. And their job is to keep the queen fed and to take care of any brood that she might decide to lay, depending upon your type of weather you get there. Their geography plays a big part on how bees behave throughout the winters. And here, our winters are really mild. I think we've seen like 28 degrees last winter. Not very many days either. We saw a brief snow for a couple of days and it was gone. So these girls had a really mild winter. And we had quite a few nice days. And so I would see them all winter long coming in with food. And I'd be scratching my head. Here it is, the end of December, all through January. I'm going, where are they getting all that food? That don't make no sense. I'm looking around, for flowers. There ain't no flowers. Nothing's flowered in the pretty early part of January and June and nothing. So I'm on my phone, what is flowering in Eugene? And AI goes, nothing. I'm going like, okay. And they were coming in with yellow and orange all through winter. I'm talking November, December, January, February, March. And then, of course, that's when everything started flowering here. So I understood why they were coming with orange and yellow then. But not through all winter. Every week, all week. Anytime there was a nice day, it wasn't storming, they were out bringing in pollen and nectar all winter long. Where are they getting it? Where do you think they got it all winter long through the winter? Cold weather, nothing flowering anywhere. I walked around the neighborhood. Somebody got a greenhouse or something that they're growing stuff and leaving the doors open? No, nothing. Right? And so when they came out of winter, these girls came out strong. So if you just saw how many girls were on top. Yeah, there were so many earwigs up there. They seemed so agitated too. I've watched them literally go in combat with those earwigs, fighting, man, like that. Yeah. So, and that's what I was saying on another podcast is that I tried to make the environment in there so that they feel safe and they're not always feeling like they're having to fight something to survive or to feel safe in there. And earwigs are a problem. I'm not sure where they're coming in. I have to put some more stuff at the bottom. Maybe they're dropping out of the tree, crawling around. I don't know. But yeah, that's why I got stung. They seemed agitated. And all the other times I've taken off the top, docile as heck. They didn't come to my face today. And I seen like 8 earwigs. And those are just the ones I saw. Who knows how many other ones were here and there, already inside and all that. Yeah, they're agitated. My bees are agitated right now. They're pissed off. Having to do the battle thing in there. And I was just, to them, I'm just another adjutant messing with the hive. And I had that one that buzzed me a while ago. She followed me all the way to my garage, buzzing me, tapping me, all the way to my garage. Before she finally left me, and then when she left me, I came right back and finished my job, doing my powder shaking. I wasn't sure if she was going to come back and say, "I can't believe you came back here," but she didn't. She didn't come back at me. So anyway, all right, thumbs up, ring the bell, subscribe, appreciate it. And I'll give an update on that panel. I'll do a further investigation. So when I do my next powder shake, and I'll give the results on this one, the closer results and what I found on this one. I'm gonna get my headlamp on. I got a 3-level magnifying thing, and I can just zoom right in. I can take a dot and make it look like a big basketball. Pretty cool. Yeah, it allows me to see all the legs on the bromides. They just look just exactly like crabs that I would catch in the ocean. And I would boil them in these big, huge pot, turn on my propane, and had this big, huge pot. I'd put them in there, and they sound like babies screaming when they would. That sounds cruel, don't it? I know, it always felt cruel when I was doing it. I'd put those crabs in that boiling water. They were still alive. And they would scream. Sound like babies screaming. Spooky. Yeah, spooky? You ever caught crabs and boiled them in hot water when they're still alive? Yeah. Very uncomfortable, unsettling. All right, man. Have a good one. Bye now.